Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls on time tonight. New year, who dis? The first stream of the new year, folks. We're here in 2024. May it be prosperous and bountiful for you all. But before we get started, a few announcements. Here are those announcements. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night stream, I'm going to stream something. I don't know what yet. It might be a visual novel. It might be a first-person shooter. It might be a third-person shooter with heavily RPG mechanics. It might be a game that I've just discovered called Road Warden, which looks incredibly interesting. Who knows? Then Wednesday, Wild Ambition. We left off right before a boss fight.
Yeah, we did.
It's time for a boss fight. It's going to be a good time. I'm very excited and not worried at all.
Says the DM.
Then on Friday, of course, we have the Astral Calling. Is the continuation of the Fairy Invasion. Join us this week to discover what had happened to the Fairy King, what did Peaceful Peace Blossom do to them, and how many mental gymnastics will Evie do to continue to think the Doctor loves her.
Oof. She does have advantage in acrobatics.
Then on Saturday, we're back to our Baldur's Gate shenanigans. After last week's video game awards, the Tabletop Rolls presents the Tabletop Bros Video Game Awards, which you can go watch the VOD of if you want to watch Matt, Will, Chad, and Calf talk about some of our favorite games this year. If you want to hear Chad talk about Octopath Traveler 2 for a bunch of time. If you want to hear Calf talk about deck building roguelites. If you want to hear Matt discussing Fate and Genshin.
I did bring up Genshin a couple of times. For good reason.
And if you want to see our video game draft for this year's Video Game Critic League, that can all be seen on the VOD from Saturday. Then, of course, this Sunday, we're back to Cozy Co-op. Join us this week as we continue our time and probably come close to the end of it in Sunhaven. As we're getting pretty far through the game at this point. But join us specifically this week as Sarah and I probably talk at length about I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, because I have someone else I can talk about this game with, and
by that point in time, I'll have gotten probably through my second run through of it. I'll have more information.
I've only done 3. There's 25 endings that I need to get, so that's my goal for that one.
It's a lengthy game, and you can go many different ways.
When I was streaming it, I got about halfway through the one run in about 4 hours. Yeah.
It's a quick one, especially with reoccurring or similar dialogue choices that happen a lot. You can just...
Yeah, if not streaming it, it's a lot quicker. But streaming it definitely does slow my roll, as the kids say.
Woo! Excuse me.
Bless
you, Matthew. But yeah, so we'll be talking about that a fair amount on Sunday. Then, of course, on Monday, we have the Strength of Thousands AP. It's what you're watching right now. And with that, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to adjust to my chair so you can see the lovely ornament on the background that Sarah got me for Christmas. There's more frogs on the background now. I've been putting all the pins of frogs that people have been gifting me onto it. So, use your FBI skills to enhance. It's a very pretty frog ornament.
Oh, yeah. It is. And for anybody who can't fully see it, it is a frog with his little booty out. It's a little booty frog.
I'm not sure you can show that on Twitch.
Yeah, wait. Is that because Ibra doesn't wear clothes?
Does that count as artistic nudity?
Oh, boy.
Not anymore.
Ugh.
Yeah, they took that down real quick. And it's being held up by a wizard frog pin. But Matt,
Nice.
why don't you tell the fine folks of the internet, the denizens of the web, what we are doing tonight?
I was wondering if you were going to go for an alliteration or there's something.
No.
Hello, everyone. I am Matt, urban off at various places on the internet, and we are here tonight to continue our adventures in the Strength of Thousands adventure path. But while I am the DM, a DM is nothing without their players. I was thinking, I wasn't sure what I was going to go there.
Matt almost went full EA Activision and called us payers.
But also, you guys have to climb a bunch of towers today. Yeah. But anyway, we're really all here to see our wonderful cast of characters. And let's start off with the one closest to Dragon this week. So, why don't you introduce yourself and your character? And I may have a special question after.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Zoe. I go by Zosie Pose on the internet. I'm channeling Year of the Dragon today. Happy New Year. And I'm playing Ophelia. She's our Whisper Elf Bard, and she loves all things cute and lovely. Yeah.
And on a similar note, what dragon or dragon adjacent creature are you quite fond of? Not your favorite. I know favorite questions are always hard, but wyverns, pseudo dragons, different colors of dragons like metallics or chromatics. What one really just makes you go, oh yeah, that's a cool dragon?
Well, I really like there's a color that I really like. The first one that pops up to mind, there's like a Neopet, like a little fey dragon thing in Neopets. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. I barely remember this thing, but that's the first thing that popped up. They're super cute. So that's definitely what I think of.
Very acceptable answer.
Yeah.
Now, I saw Will get a big smile on his face and look like he was readying something.
I'm still readying it. Go to someone else. Sorry, it's a 500-page book I have to go through. I'm sorry.
You could just, use your words to paint a picture. McKenna, you also seem to be looking for something. Why don't you introduce yourself, your character, and your dragon-adjacent delight?
Hi, my name is McKenna Raytinen. Tonight I am playing Avi, the Nyctera witch, as well as her familiar Agate. I'm McKenna Ray Art on all of the socials and whatnot. And my favorite dragon, courtesy of the Dragonology book, is, I believe it is pronounced Amphitheer. And it's this guy. Am I showing it to you properly? Are you getting a...
So it is a dragon type that has only wings and a tail, no arms. Interesting.
I think it is a subset of wyverns, but it's missing the back legs.
Yeah, it usually seems like wyverns are dragons that their wings are their arms. That seems to be the distinguishing trait that wyverns have that set them apart from full-on dragons.
Yeah, but this one, according to Ernest Drake, is native to South America. And I don't know, there's something about it. It just looks like it gives good hugs despite the fact that it has no arms. And I love that.
I mean, might give kind of leathery hugs, but...
And just look at how, like, fuzzy and feathery it is. That's a dragon that knows how to give a good hug.
I have seen dragons that rather than having scales, they have, like, fur, like the 3D live-action remake of Puff the Magic Dragon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Will, how you doing? Have you found your visual aid?
I got there.
All
Yeah,
right. So, Will, why don't you introduce yourself, your character, and then your dragon-adjacent delight?
Hello, tonight my name is William Banner, and I will be playing...
Only tonight.
Igora, only tonight. Also known as Igora, also known as Gama's buddy, also known as the one who bought Choco, also known as God's favorite princess. There we go. That was a...
Shadowheart?
Yeah. I don't know, my brain went to Shadowheart. But my favorite dragon in classic literature right now is just because they're the biggest fucking asshole. Is the dragon that St. George killed.
Oh.
As I have a picture right here.
A lot of pictures I've seen of that particular scene Poor dragon just looks like he's like
He's just
distressed.
lying on his back. Yeah. Yeah, right there. But yeah. This has been a very fun book to read, by the way. It is a like medieval mythology book that has a whole bunch of scanned in like source documents.
Well, that's cool.
And
Have you found,
it's gorgeous.
other than St. George, Will, have you found anyone else who's in Fate?
No, I have. Well, I'm sure there is. I'm kind of sad that Charlemagne isn't in here.
Well,
'Cause-
does he have anything to do with dragons?
Well, there's Charlemagne's battles, but that's really all we get for Charlemagne. There's not much Charlemagne, so no Astolfo.
No
for
Charlie?
Rose in this book. No, but yeah,
All right. And last but certainly not least, the queen of cat dragons, we have Sarah. Please introduce yourself, your character,
Please.
and your favorite dragon adjacent delight.
Hello, everybody. I am Sarah Margaret, also known as Big Red Cat Pictography on some social media pages and things. I am playing Charlotte, the Anati toxicologist. And honestly speaking, I think probably one of my favorite types of dragons is a tie between Bahamut and Leviathan.
Oh, we're going specific.
Which so one is a very traditional like draconic dragon, and the other one is more of a sea serpent dragon. And believe it or not, despite my like fan of Final Fantasy, Bahamut and Leviathan are both actual mythological dragons. One is Leviathan is Jewish based, and I believe Bahamut is. I want to say Bahamut is like Hindu,
I don't
somewhere
know.
within that realm.
Zoroastrianism? Who knows?
Yeah, well, they're just like both have really good stories tied to them. I don't know. There's a lot of mythology for certain dragons that I really like, but also like fictionally, I think I love Toothless because it's very cat-like as a dragon.
And
That's
for
a good one.
myself, mine is more kind of just sort of an aesthetic, but World of Warcraft designed what they call a fairy dragon, which is like a sort of cross between a dragon, a very small one, a chameleon, and a butterfly, because it has wonderful, like almost like stained glass covered butterfly wings. They're very pretty and very cute, and I just love them.
we do love Brightwing in this house.
Little tail.
Brightwing is different because Brightwing is a sociopath.
Brightwing is best wing.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that I believe takes care of all our introductions. So why don't we hop on into the game after Will rolls that intro with a. And that's how King Crimson works. But anyway,
That's not what we're talking about.
I just wanted to bring that joke back. I love that stupid joke.
Mhm.
But anyway, when last we left our group of lore speakers from the Magical Academy of the Magambia, all like, what, 2 weeks ago now, I think, or a week ago?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
1
It's been a
week.
while.
It's been a week.
300 years.
In the future. Thousands of years in the future.
Been
2 weeks,
60
Matthew.
years.
When last we left everyone, for the third time I'll say this, they had reached their goal of the lost golden city of Osaibu. And when I say golden, we mean this literally. The streets are paved with gold, not cheese. The buildings are made of gold. There are golden statues that are used as guards that you guys circumvented, but by the liberal use of a teleport spell. Um, but you guys had, while got your introduction to the city got off to a bit of a rocky start, thanks to the good word of a large tree man. You had been welcomed into the city as maybe not honored guests, but certainly welcomed visitors. Especially considering there is the understanding that anyone who leaves the city is placed under sort of a magical compulsion not to reveal secrets of the city. It's not
You
a
could,
flawless
Matt. You
system.
could. I'm sorry. You could say the tree man gave us an olive branch.
Yes, he extended an olive branch.
That he did. He did do that.
Mhm.
I'm corrupting you all, and I love it.
That's not really a pun, though, Will. I don't know. It's a turn of phrase. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Good job, Sarah. Not
Thank
giving
you.
you a hero point, though. Um,
Oh.
you guys had begun to sort of conduct your study of the city. You were doing so under the kind of it's kind of an interesting situation you find yourself in because you are all academics. Some of you, like Avi, have always been very interested in the city of Osaibu, and there's so much to learn here. It is an ancient city, but you're doing so under the knowledge that you won't necessarily be able to take your knowledge out into the world. Like with a few little exceptions, you guys did manage to roll well with one of your kind of research roles, which means you have hidden away a bit of information in your notes that the people who have been looking through your notes didn't catch. Whether or not that will, 100 years down the line, doom the city or something, we'll never know. But yeah, you guys also investigated a location within the city that had apparently been there longer than the city has, called the Nemesis Well, which is seemingly a bottomless pit where a strange, almost miasma seems to come from and that leads to horrifying visions and stuff. Checked that out, realized, oh, this is totally just essentially a geographical cameo from the Moagi Expanse sourcebook. Let's leave this for now. And returned to your life in the city. You guys, I'm going to say, have been here probably around a month now. We're entering into the second month. There's another chance for research.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys like to do?
Unless anything else has presented itself as like a thing that needs doing, probably more research.
Okay. Well, then we will return to another month of academic research. And as a refresher to everyone, you will get to roll a DC with one of the skill checks that is associated with your major at the school. And assuming you roll well enough, you can achieve another level in your branch at the Magambia. And let's see, you guys are currently level 14, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So refreshing my brain, level 14 DC.
Well, remember, it's for the DC of the school that we're in, Matt.
We figured this out.
Yes, we did. It's
The
our
standard DC of the branch's level.
Yeah. So, for example, for Sun Mages, I'm at the 9th tier, so I'm dealing with the level 9 DC. If I'm doing Rain Scribes, it's the 7th tier, so I deal with the level 7 DC.
I really wish this book would explain this better.
It did.
I'm not entirely sure, like
Did
where...
it though?
All right. I hate to peek behind the curtain here. Like, well, please explain your math to me.
Okay, so I am currently at 9th level for the Tempest Sun Mages.
Yes.
So it uses the level 9 DC.
Why would you say that?
Because it uses the current DC of the level for your school.
It seems way too easy.
That's how we've been doing it.
Yeah, it's never sought rotten because it always seemed terribly easy unless you were rolling with a skill you didn't have the good levels in.
What I'm
But-
confused about is that you're only supposed to have as many branch levels accumulatively as your total level.
Well, that's the
So I'm
max you
not
can get.
Sure how Will has 16 accumulative
I think he's rolled a
levels.
couple critical
I've gotten
successes.
crits.
And while the
So
crits
have
don't allow
I.
you to, while
We
the
can't
crits
go
don't,
over our level. We can't go over our level for the school.
Right.
but
So I'm
it
only a
holds
9.
them.
I'm not.
Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was level accumulatively.
No,
No.
it's like the highest level that we can. So we can get to level 14. Looks at level to make sure we're level 14. Yeah, we can get to
Yes.
level 14 in both of our schools.
Interesting. Assuming you crit that much.
Assuming
Yes.
you roll that well or do that well. Give me a second.
Well, it does seem too easy to me. I have nothing to dispute that particular interpretation of the rules. I also don't really care that much. So,
I will go triple check it right now. I just need to go and actually find it on my PC.
I have the book in front of me. I wish they would bold these sections in the thing, or
That-
lay it out much
listen.
easier.
I love Paizo. I think they're a great company. My fucking god, do they lay out their books poorly sometimes.
You know, actually, this line does seem to. All right, the branch's associated skills against a standard DC of the branch's level. That makes sense. Okay, tiny little paragraph.
Yeah.
All right, so who would like to begin their research for this month?
Do we want to roll initiative?
Yeah, you know what?
For
Let's go ahead
research?
with that. I'm gonna open up the initiative tracker, and why don't we roll initiative just so we can keep this kind of ordered. Don't forget to click your character.
I did forget to do that.
It's been a while since we
First
played.
roll of the year, and I'm already fucking it up.
It wouldn't be any fun if
I
we
mean, technically, you didn't f up the
Here's up to a
roll.
32.
You effed up just using roll
Alright.
20.
This roll will determine how my year is going to be.
Oh, come on.
Well,
Pretty middling.
mid.
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 Ooh. So harsh. The young kids are so harsh.
Mid.
Mid.
Wait, I clicked my
You
token, but
rolled
it didn't
perception.
do it. Oh. That's
So
how my
did you.
Oh,
Viewers, we're all getting back into the swing of
I'm
things.
McKenna, you also rolled perception.
I was wondering why people's things weren't showing up.
So I did.
The well was called the Nemesis Well. Well.
Well,
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 well.
Well.
Wellity, wellity,
I mean,
wellity.
better than the Nemesis Hole.
Well.
I think that's everyone then. All right, so that means I will quickly order that. So first off will be Charlotte.
Yay!
And I believe yours was the Uzanjati.
Uzanjati!
All right, now I imagine you're going to be rolling crafting.
I could, but remember my lore is very poignant too.
That's true.
So.
And what's your current branch level? Did we catch you up to, what was it, 7 or?
7.
All right.
Although
that means-
7 gave me a branch feat, but I don't think we cleared up what that branch feat was. Not entirely sure if we did.
6th level Megamian Attendant Archetype feat.
Which one is it? Sure. For which one?
Uzanjati.
I'll give me a second.
Uzanjati storytelling. Just Google it.
Oh yes, I got the Uzanjati story. That
Just-
I got that.
Everyone insists on doing things the
I
hard
saw
way.
I got the first name correctly, but storytelling made me trip, which was
Yeah.
Listen, I just like using paper.
I mean, I am the. I mean,
You
have
liking
you
it doesn't make it
seen-
not the inefficient
Have
way
you
of doing
seen?
it.
Hey y'all! Since I joined,
Oh,
I filled up all of these.
Nice.
noise.
Nice.
McKenna knows I'm the note taker.
It's so nice to have Sarah in campaigns just because I just put my notebook aside and I'm like, forget about
So,
it.
to get to 8th level, then you will just need, I guess, to roll an 18 with your associated lore.
Well, let's be cautious on this one and do crafting, I suppose. Well,
That's
That-
still a crit.
That is still a crit, which means you gain, let's see, increase the level of the branch you chose by 2. All right. So you are gaining a general feat associated with your branch. So that is, unless you already have it, incredible initiative.
I do not.
It's a
Shall
good
look it up.
feat. A
Alrighty.
flat +2 to initiative rolls.
And I will add that to your sheet for you, Sarah, to make your life
Yeah.
easier.
Thank
And because you
you.
got a success, a critical success, you go right up to
9.
hold on
Yeah.
a sec. Why is this?
Remember?
Oh. See, this page goes level by level showing off the things, but then it goes from 8th to 16th, and I wondered why. So I looked at the handy dandy chart, and from 9 until like 15, it's just very simple things like, oh, you get a skill feat.
Also, a reminder to all of our spellcasters, which is all of us, your cantrips deal an extra dice of damage to what they initially dealt now.
So, Sarah, just as an important thing here, now that because you got the critical success, you got the 8th, which is the general feat, and you also got the 9th, which is a skill feat, and that means you gain an additional skill feat that requires the expert or trained rank in one of the branch's associated skills. So that's going to be lore or crafting. So you may want to take time, Google that, figure out which one you want to do. That way you can figure out the best one. We're not going to rush you. So while that's happening, you can do that now if you want. We're going to move on to the next initiative, Igra, who is currently at level 9, he said, so he's going to be rolling for level 10. So that will be a 20 DC, and you are rolling with the Sun Warriors, I believe.
Is it the current level,
Sun
or is it
Mages.
the level that you're going to?
I think it's the level you're going to. Yeah, because you're trying to achieve level 10. Yeah, the branches level.
Yeah, so my branch's level is 9 right now. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Igra has been
So that will
humming
be
to
intimidation or
themself-
performance.
has been humming to themselves all week and just been really enjoying their time in Osaibu. They really like this city. It's pretty, it's filled with gold, and its military might is interesting to analyze just for funsies. And
Trying to figure out how they effectively use gold in their armaments.
yeah, exactly.
Magic.
Magic.
We had this discussion last time. It's
Also-
magic.
Also, they just put gold.
Magic.
They put gold on the inside of other things, and the gold just lends weight.
Yeah, 42 is not bad.
42. That is still a crit. Oh, and well, I figured out the reasoning why if you're trying to get to level 10, why you'd be rolling against the level 10 DC.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, when you try to get your first level, you're rolling against a level 0 DC, which does not exist.
It does.
Well, what's the
DCs
DC of it?
There's DCs all the way to
10?
negative. There's DCs all the way to negative too. On
Then
the
you-
level class by level chart.
Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, you got a critical success, so you're going to go up to 11. And that is just skill increase for level 10. You get to pick something that's at the master level. And level 11 is steeped in history. So that is, again, this is recall knowledge about the Megambia, the tenets the tenets or history of your branch, and the members of your branch. And now that it's level 11, it's a +2 circumstance bonus. So
Yep.
you'll have to kind of remember that.
That's fine.
Moving
Not
on.
Too much thinking anyway.
Moving on to Avi Avi.
Yeah.
You
All
are Cascade Bearers?
Yeah, and I'm also going for my 10th level in Cascade Bearers.
Alright, so give me
hopefully...
a Arcana, Occultism, or Religion.
Yes, sir. Remind me what the DC was again?
You got a critical success.
I will take it.
Yes. So let me just see now.
Matt hates this system so much.
Well, it's just too easy. There's like unless you critically fail,
Listen,
it's very hard to fail.
I mean, it's very hard to fail. Looks at Zoe.
Listen, my rolls
The-
are crap.
I'm
Yeah,
not
but
going to lie.
that's a statistical anomaly.
Compared
Yeah, I'm special.
compared to the managing a
just
circus
crazy.
subsystem, I will take this. This is so much more streamlined and fun.
Managing a circus subsystem.
I don't know. I'm the kind of person
Yeah.
who's remember, Will, I'm the kind of person that willingly does challenge quests because if it's not challenging, I don't find it fun anymore. I'm a little bit of a masochist. Anyway, so yeah, that'll be going to 10 and 11. So you're also getting a skill increase of something with a master rank in one of your skills, and
Into
steeped in history +2.
Arcana, occultism, or religion, or
Yes.
academia.
I'm so sorry. Can you say that one more time, Matt?
Basically, for the level 10 one, you gain an additional skill feat that requires the expert or trained rank in one of the branch associated skills. That was the hold on, sorry, no, that was the ninth
That's
one.
9.
10th one is the skill increase. You can use the skill increase to become a master in a skill in which you're already an expert.
Nice. So that's up to
Associated
11
skills,
now,
mind you.
right? Because it's a crit.
Yes. Now an 11 is the steeped in history +2. So
Gotcha. So that's Arcana, occultism,
Or religion.
or religion.
yeah, so one of those can go up to master if they're an expert.
Hmm.
While you're
What
thinking
if
on
I
that,
have 2 masters and 1 nothing?
well, then you can move the nothing up to trained.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I mean, that
You
makes
can have
sense.
2 master's degrees? That's incredible.
I'm now
Gee, Billy, why
trained
does your mom let you have 2 master's degrees?
in religion.
For just $60,000 a year, you can get a master's degree in performing arts.
At Frog Legs
That-
University. Next up is Ophelia, who's also Uzunjadi, I believe.
Yes.
No, or
7.
is it Uzunjadi?
Yes.
Okay.
I was Uzunjadi and Emerald Bows.
Okay. Which one is your major?
Uzunjadi.
Okay. So yeah, that's going to be a crafting or lore check.
No.
Or what's your current branch level?
7.
Okay. So that'll be 18 for a success. Damn, girl.
Hooray!
That's a crit success. You're going to bump up to 9 then. So you get a
Excellent.
general feat associated with crafting or lore. And then at 9, you get to get a skill feat. Master. Or pardon me, expert. Expert.
Awesome, thank you.
All right. Now, that has been a month of study around the city. You guys are becoming familiar. And one of the things that you have found kind of interesting about the city of Osaibu is that they're just kind of dinosaurs wandering the city. Sometimes they are leashed and collared like beasts of burden. Sometimes there are smaller ones like pets. You've seen a couple people walk around with like little pterodactyl looking things just perched on their shoulders. Yes, question?
Do any of them have feathers? Those are the best kind.
Yes. They all have brightly colored feathers of some variety. Some have little, almost kind of frilly fluffs around their necks and stuff. They mostly seem to be kind of omnivorous or herbivores. The smaller ones sometimes are carnivores. Like, you think that little pterodactyl ones probably exclusively eat fish and small rodents and the like. But there also been some big herbivores that sort of just wander through the streets, and some of them just seem to be ones that have wandered in from the jungle and just are familiar and comfortable enough with the city that just sort of, well, we got to get to the other side. We're going to walk through the city rather than around it. Yes, question for you, Ro.
Do they mind wipe the dinosaurs?
No.
Do they what?
He's asking if the secrecy spell is cast on the dinosaurs as well.
I was just curious. That was it.
We are
But
in the Flintstones, evidently.
at one point during the day or something, you guys are just kind of wandering down the streets. You start hearing some shouted yells, like not in terror or anything, but an alarm and a rumbling sound. And just gonna bump it down, get down to the relevant section here on my notes. There appears to be a bit of a stampede through the city. From what you hear from kind of the shouted conversation, one of them accidentally kind of bumped into a building known as the Shimmering Home, which is a known landmark of the city. You guys have heard of it in like conversation during your time in the city. It's this special architectural project. It's this house made of beautiful glass, not as much gold, mostly glass. Unfortunately, one of these dinosaurs apparently bumped into it, and the sound of shattering glass startled the poor things, and now they are stampeding through the city. There are 4 Stegosaurus. And
Stegosauri!
yes, Stegosauri. The dinosaurs were spooked by the noise and are bolting through the city, potentially doing even more damage now because now they're not paying attention so much to their surroundings and are just kind of running in mild fear and alarm. And there doesn't appear to be anyone nearby who has the skills or abilities to stop these rampaging creatures. And you've already seen a few people's shops have been knocked to the ground and stuff, and the creatures only seem to be picking up speed. So we are going
Ophelia, sing them to sleep!
we are going to stay in initiative, and you guys are going to have the chance to either do an athletics or nature check to stop them, or if you can come up with a clever enough solution. There are 4 of these Stegosauruses. Each need to be stopped, so potentially you all have the opportunity to stop a single Stegosaurus, or if you have some very clever solution or spell, you could stop all of them. But you guys are each going to get a chance to try and stop them. And for every one you stop, we're going back to the treasure point system.
Ooh.
So we're going to start at the top with the person who has left their chair.
I'm back. I was
All right.
I needed chocolate. I'm sorry.
Understandable.
Perfectly all right.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, it's not great at either one of those things.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Down the street.
Hmm.
It's a dinosaur.
So you said either use either one of those checks, or if I'm clever enough, I can do
Yes.
something else.
I'll just let you know, just so you guys can gauge what skill you may want to use, or if you want to risk something. The DC is 32.
It's
Oh,
not.
that's fine.
Hmm.
I got a plan.
We'll try nature check.
All right. Feel free to roll that nature check.
I'm gonna see if I can't Jurassic Park it.
29. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that's a failure, unless you want to use a
Oh.
hero point.
No. I'll put failure.
Got an extra.
You did get an extra.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Okay.
0 point.
Ah.
So close. You only rolled one. There's
One
times-
higher.
So unfortunately, on a failure, the particular dinosaur that you were trying to corral kind of just like it decides not to run you over, but it runs over a small toy maker's stall and crushes their goods before running out of a gate of the city. We're gonna move on to Igora.
All right, so hearing dinosaurs stampeding, Igora, as whatever training they're doing with the guards, just says, No, they're going to damage the gold! Igura jumps onto Choco's back. Choco starts running through the city. Igura gets in front of one of these dinosaurs, jumps off of Choco's back, hits the ground, puts their hand to the ground, summons Gama underneath him. And I'd like to use intimidation to kind of just spook the dinosaur into, I am your master now, type of thing.
I will say the DC will be slightly higher than usual,
That's fine.
than nature and such, but you've perfectly give it a try.
Stop moving, you life-size dino nugget.
Okay, that was the DC I set in my head. So yes, you managed to kind of calm this one down. It's still sort of
It
moving, but now
worked.
it's not kind of rampaging or stampeding. That's one success, one failure. Avi, or you'll be up next.
So my nature is only dwarfed by athletics in terms of what I am bad at.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd. So I turn to Ophelia and I'm like, if I translate for you, do you think you can calm them down? Because they are technically animals, no?
They are animals.
And I can speak to those animals.
Wow.
Speak
All
to
right,
the
well,
animals, talk with the animals.
I
sing
am
and
Avi
dance.
Avi. I speak with the
Translate.
animals.
Can you translate song? Ha ha ha.
I'm not as good of a singer as you, but I can try.
It should be
Yeah.
noted, on a critical success, you calm 2 dinosaurs. So yeah, if you want to give Ophelia assistance, making it more likely for her to critical succeed, she could calm the remaining 2 dinosaurs at once.
So,
Yeah.
did you happen to say that this was actually like a fear effect on them?
Well, no, not a magical fear effect. They're just startled, and they are simple animals. So,
Gotcha.
it's
Because
like someone shattered a glass behind a horse.
I do have the spell Soothing Ballad, so I was thinking either that or doing a performance check to sing them some sort of lullaby to calm down. I don't know why Here Comes the Sun was the first song that came to my head, but that was the
It's-
one that was like, I don't know, really calm them down.
I mean, it's a bright city. There's gold shining everywhere, and the
Yeah,
dinosaurs are used to
absolutely.
it. So,
But yeah, would I be able to use soothing ballad to calm these dinos down?
unfortunately,
Use a performance
Soothing
check.
Ballad is just a name, and it only actually is just a healing spell. It doesn't actually have any sort of calming properties.
Gotcha, because it would counteract fear effects, but they're not
Yeah.
actually feared.
Yes.
Okay, I use a performance check. Ophelia will get Floribunda to do a little dance with her, and that's for a +1 from her little familiar.
Got a little
Let me
plus
know if
from
what you-
Avi Avi as well.
Yeah. I don't know how much of a plus, but
Well, you're
hopefully
giving assistance.
Oh, I rolled
Oh.
a 4.
You
Would you
have
like to use a hero point?
Hell yeah. Oh,
Okay.
that's better. That's a 42.
Yes, with Avi Avi's assistance, with Floribunda's assistance.
That's
Um,
exactly what we needed.
Well, it's not going to become a critical success, though.
Damn.
So, just
I was
check.
hoping an aid was a +2, +4. Abundance would have been +3, which would be 42.
Well,
which would
here's the thing: because it wasn't one of it wasn't a nature athletics check. The DC was already higher to begin with.
I figured.
Damn, I didn't think of that.
Yeah. But you let's see. I'm just double checking here. You know what? I'm gonna say this is kind of a partial success. You guys calmed 2 of the dinosaurs. 2 of them made a bit of a mess, but also it's not really your job, so no one's exactly holding it against you.
You
But,
only got one round to do it.
Only 1 round.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, I will.
Unless you'd like to keep trying and
and
potentially accrue even more failures.
No, I will. I will stay by and assist the poor toy maker to fix his cart, so it actually is back
He
together
can
again.
go around helping people who are hurt
Oh,
dinos and clean up.
You certainly could do that, though. I do have some bad news in terms of the treasure point results for this. You actually only get like it's very kind of like binary here. If you succeeded and stopped all 4 dinosaurs, everyone would have gotten a hero point. But because you didn't stop all of them, you don't
One
get
treasure
any
point.
additional treasure points, and you lose 2 treasure points for the 2 failures.
Oh,
That
Hey,
was
did we get any treasure points for
Actually, pardon me.
stupid.
level up?
Hold on. Actually, it was only 1 failure. Sorry.
How
guys-
is any of it our fault, though?
Well, no, actually, yeah, it was 2. Technically, 2 dinosaurs weren't stopped.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember, aiding does not actually help.
Well, it did help. It added a
help.
little something. Yeah, just didn't help quite enough to get a critical.
yeah, and at least it wasn't
Biscuits.
necessarily a failure because I don't think I would have gotten a 32 with nature or athletics.
What's your modifier in nature?
It's like a 19, so I would have needed. I don't know math.
10, 14
Yeah,
to
you would need a
succeed.
14.
I would
Natural.
have needed a 14 or higher, and those are not good odds.
No, not the best.
Say little.
Yeah, it was close.
So did we get treasure points earlier
No.
from our leveling
Oh.
up? No.
Actually, yes. Thank you for reminding me. You guys did get treasure points for your. Let's see. Actually, yeah, you guys got 2 critical successes and 2 successes for your research, right?
Yes. Now, are we doing treasure points individually?
It's up to you guys. You can pool them, or you can.
I was keeping track of the ones that I received for myself.
I was also keeping track of
Okay.
the ones that I received. I didn't know that we were putting them together.
I don't think you were. All right. So, Igra, you got a critical success, right?
Probably
Yes.
not.
So let me just double check. All right, so you uncover several significant revelations about Asaibu. Increase your branch level by 1. You can slip the additional information, increasing his branch level by. Now, I'm assuming you are taking the additional branch level, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, again, if you want to keep this information in your way that will not potentially lead outsiders to the city, I'm going to need a DC 35 deception check.
Sure.
Yeesh.
Nope. Oh well.
All right. So,
I don't live here. Doesn't matter.
unforeseen consequences may be occurring down the road. You gain
Really?
2 treasure points.
Sweet.
All right. So, going to continue to go across my little board here. Sarah, you got a success or a critical success?
I got a critical success.
All right. So you also gain 2 levels, and please also give me a deception check to try and maybe obscure the notes and prevent future people who read it from discovering things about the city.
Thought that was if we were trying to smuggle information out of the city that they did not
Yeah.
want us to smuggle out of the city.
The writing here is, doing so might lead outsiders, even well-intentioned ones, to Asaibu, unless you succeed at a secret DC 35 deception check to obscure this information on your own.
Basically, if
See,
we
I-
Doing what? Trying to get information out that you're not supposed to, or doing any notes at all?
Covering your tracks at all?
You are slipping in additional information the city leaders didn't catch.
if I could
Right. So if
possibly-
you're not doing that,
Well,
right.
if you're not doing that, you don't get the additional level for the critical success.
Oh, okay.
This
That
is sort of
was-
this is a additional kind of provision on the branch level ups.
Okay.
So you don't have to roll the deception check. You could just take the fail. It doesn't have any negative consequences on you potentially.
Well, Matt, it's going to be a failure regardless. Have you seen my deception stats?
You could
Yeah.
roll a crit.
Or else you just take one level up at a time and don't worry about possibly leading strangers to the city. It is entirely character decision. Igora
Yes.
does not particularly care if more people find this city, so I'm happy to take the extra stuff.
Yeah, because I'm gonna roll, and the odds of me succeeding in any way with the deception are nil.
To be fair, not rolling at all and rolling and failing have the exact same result. So you lose nothing by attempting.
Well,
There's the in-character consequence of if you are trying to smuggle out notes and fail, you could bring retribution on the city. It has no
Yes.
consequences for you.
Yes.
It does have consequences
no,
for the
and
city.
no, and I mean, can I? Because I don't want to. So can I just table 9th level right now and
Sure. You can
retcon?
absolutely choose
Because
not to take that. Yes.
regardless if I did or did not, I have a 0 proficiency in deception. It'd have to be an exact critical success for me
Yes.
to like get anything. And so I'd rather just not take the extra level and then
That's
research
perfectly
the
up,
next month.
That's perfectly up to you.
Yeah, I'm in
I
the
mean,
same
this
boat.
city's been around for thousands of years. Nothing's going to happen to it. You can continue your research for as long as you want.
Well, when you say it in that tone,
Yeah, why?
I don't believe that.
I don't believe it one
Like
stinking bit.
Pay no attention to the legends of a fire giant with a giant sword in the mountains.
No.
Okay, Elden Ring.
That was
So
actually
I'm also
that was
gonna
a
take
that was a
away-
Norse mythology reference, Will.
I'm gonna take away a level from my critical success too, which
The fire
what a
giant
bummer.
attacks us with like a garbage lid. It's
A garbage
dumb.
lid, not a garbage lid.
Bowl? I don't know.
It's a deception check in order to keep that.
Yes.
In order to keep
Uh-huh.
the extra level if you have a critical, otherwise it's
Well,
just a
so yeah,
singular.
you can either you have a couple choices here. You can roll for the deception,
Uh-huh.
pass or fail, or you can not take the additional level if you got a critical success.
My deception is abysmal, but I can use versatile performance to
Yes,
use
you can.
performance instead of deception. So
Don't pay attention to the notes on page 5.
I like to think that she just has really flowery, scrawly handwriting that people
Oh.
can't really read.
Somewhere
It's
in your
also
family
worth
there's a
mentioning
doctor.
that this is supposed to be a secret roll, so we don't know what you will roll for. And technically, you don't either. Matt's supposed to roll it.
Come on. I rolled a 2.
Y'all are gonna wreck this city.
I rolled it. Oh, wow! A 4!
It's a hard roll. 35.
I rolled a 2 and a 4, man.
Yeah, I
a
mean,
2 and a
It's
4.
a yeah. She needs
I'm
like
trying
a
to be
9.
nice.
Yeah.
This is the new year.
You still keep the additional level. And Avi, what was your choice?
Oh, I'm not rolling deception. I even on a critical success, it would still technically be a failure. So
Okay.
no.
But regardless,
Yes.
anyone who rolled a critical success gets 2 treasure points. Anyone who got a success gets 1 treasure point.
And then we
I'll
immediately lose
accept
those.
my no.
The treasure points. A hero can spend 1 treasure point to gain a common consumable item of 14th level or lower.
Well, Matt,
gem.
how many did we lose for failing the dinosaur mission? Is what
2.
I was asking. Okay, so is that from everyone or from the entirety? of it?
Just 2 treasure points. You guys are going to have to decide who loses the
People
treasure
who
points.
failed lose the treasure point. Easy, done. What?
I didn't say anything.
No, McKenna rolled her eyes at me.
I don't know. It was just the attitude. It was just the attitude.
Did I have?
Here,
I don't
you know
think
what?
I had
I will-
a treasure point.
I will lose a
All
treasure
right.
point, so you don't have to, McKenna.
No. I also
I-
I think roll 20 deleted
I'm just going to
where I
let
was
this conversation roll.
rolling. I'm gonna level with you. I'm trying to find my treasure points because I know I wrote them down somewhere, and I think roll 20 might have deleted.
Well, we
where
only
I
did
had
1
them.
month of research last month, I think, right?
Yeah. We only did 1
Yeah.
month.
And what level did you start this week in terms of your branch level, McKenna? Was it 9?
9 went to 10.
All right. So we're going to assume
So I should
then.
only have 2.
Yeah.
So now I will have 1.
Okay.
Matt,
Yes.
I don't. Do I have negative treasure points now?
No?
Remember, you're not collectively each losing 2. out of your total, you only lose 2. You just have to decide who is losing a treasure point. So if you
Should we
don't have
just
any to
pull
begin
them
with,
together? Should we just pull them together so it's not so confusing?
That might be nice.
All right, how many treasure points does everyone have currently? I'll keep track of
4.
it. Okay, so I have 4. Zoe has 4.
that's 8.
McKenna, how many do you have?
Ooh.
Did you already subtract 1 for the failure?
No, I did not.
Okay,
So that's a
go
total
up
of
to
10.
And then Sarah, you got a success last time as well, so we would have been at 11.
Well,
So last
no.
You didn't get any. Did you not roll last time?
I mean, I didn't have an academic last time.
Oh, so you need to roll again.
I RP'd, I went and helped the tree guy with the
Okay.
glass house.
So then we'll say
that was
we
about
have
it.
10 right now, and we'll go down to 8. Solved.
There you go. So, as I was mentioning, the treasure points, I scroll down. They can be exchanged. 1 treasure point can be exchanged for a common consumable item of 14th level or lower, or gems, gold, or other valuables worth 1,000 when sold outside of Osaibu. You can't sell them their treasure points back. The hero can spend 3 treasure points to gain a common permanent item of 14th level or lower. The heroes can pool their treasure points, and they can spend treasure points as soon as they get them or at any time during this chapter. At some point, you might come across a magically sealed door that has a slot in it that you need to put treasure point coins in. No, that will not happen.
We get a little gold Amex card. Is that what I'm seeing here? The gold Amex? Sorry, I don't know what Canada has.
We don't really have good light transit outside of Toronto, maybe. I don't know, BC might. I don't
Toronto
know.
doesn't even really have good light transit. One of the trains was on fire today, for God's sake.
I mean, yeah, but how often does that happen?
All right. We lost in translation somewhere. Amex is a card.
Yeah, but what is it used for?
Credit card.
Oh, it's just a credit card. We have that, yeah.
It's a gold
Visa,
credit card.
MasterCard.
Never mind.
Yeah.
There was a translation error. I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
Right.
I confess I am very Californian and American. Apologies.
Give me a quick second. I need to just check something here.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
Little
Tell me
baby.
snuck up on me.
Give us the baby.
I can't. It's a diggy.
Oh,
No holding.
Mm.
Diggy don't
respectfully.
do holds.
You know what? For reasons, I'm going to say we enter into a 3rd month of research.
Interesting.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah,
we're
can't
gonna
wait to fail this again.
start back up at the start of initiative, unless that's fine. So we're gonna start again with Sarah. If you
All
want,
right.
you can do another roll to gain another level, which I believe you're starting at what level now?
Nah, 8.
Okay.
8, technically.
All right.
Yes.
So you will need a 19 to advance to level 9.
Cool. I will say that for this month's research, instead of turning to how the items and shops and the crafting and tools are, Charlotte will study the architecture, and I will use my brand new lore.
Hmm.
And I rolled a 37 for architecture
Nice.
lore.
Nice.
And that is a critical success. So now, before we go into how many things you get and all the things, are you going to want to try and take that 2nd level at the expense of maybe having to do a deception roll, or you just want to take the success?
I feel like, characteristically, Charlotte would be sketching how some of the buildings look with some detailed notes.
It should also
and
be
she would
noted.
want to take them.
Should also be noted, you do gain the 2 treasure points for the critical success regardless of whether you take the second branch level.
Oh. I didn't realize. Okay, so then we have more treasure points because I got 2 crit. Fuck. Sorry.
So
y'all.
add another 2.
Yeah, add another 2.
Adding another 2 to the flu.
How do I word this? I do not want to take out any information that they don't approve of.
Alright, so we'll just move you up to level 9 then, but you do get the 2 treasure points. So that's another 2, Will.
Up to 12, baby.
Alright, so you are level 9. That is a skill feat expert.
Yep.
So you get to pick another skill feat of the expert level of the associated things with your branch.
Already picked
Crafting
one.
or lore. You guys are going to be so many skill feats. So many. Too many. Alright, and then we pop down to Igora.
So let's have Ego's research this month be around the just general morale of the city with the Tempest stuff. I would love if there was a way that I could be like more scientific with Igora, I would, but unfortunately Igora is not built for science, he's built for people. So humanities studying it is. And let's
Is he though? Is he built for people?
He is. He's very good at speaking to people who are not in the party. And on that note, a 39 for intimidation.
I love that. It
Now-
feels like a very mask for Igora, which is great.
So yeah, that will be a critical success, I believe.
Yep.
Because you're at what level now?
I was
you're
at
starting at-
level. I was starting at 11, so this will get me
Alright,
to
so,
13.
Yeah, this would have been a 22, and you well succeeded that.
All right. I'm going to take the double level up and go up to 13.
Do you want to roll the deception, or you just want to wait it?
I will attempt. Listen, Igora
Yeah.
doesn't actively want to get this city found out, but also I care more about academia and advancing this than I do about the city maintaining secrecy because they have an army of golden warriors. They can handle themselves. That one off.
One off.
It's not from
But-
lack of trying that Igora's doing.
But you're
this.
perfectly happy to take the treasure points.
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy to take the treasure.
Okay.
Something
It should be-
mine, gold, something.
I will throw you a little bit of tidbit of interesting actual information here, Will.
Mhm.
In studying, you're allowed at one point to kind of sit and watch some of the Golden Warrior work. And not only can they control large numbers of these Golden Warriors at once, you find out this was done when they were sent out against you guys. They can be essentially liquefied at will and reshaped into larger statues. Like they take like 5 guys, turn them into one larger guy, and then divide them again.
Well, I'm
And
happy
fries?
they didn't turn them into a burger and fries.
That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
Adding another level of difficulty.
No, actually, I have to say, Matt, I was also thinking that pun, so
So
I
add
appreciate
another
your
difficulty
I appreciate
level.
your honesty. Another level of difficulty, immune to poison. Anyway,
Damage.
Avi
That's me.
Okay, that's so good.
is you.
All right.
I'm gonna make another Arcana check.
And what level are you attempting to achieve? Okay, critical
Nat
success.
20! Avi
Now-
is getting into these books.
Are you taking those 2 levels?
I am taking the 2 treasure points. I will not take 2 levels.
Okay. So that means you move up to which level?
Now I am up to level 11 in
Okay,
Cascade
steep-
Bearers.
Steeped in history +2.
Plus
So you
sorry.
are spending your time just studying books?
Yes.
Okay.
What did you mean by
Oh,
steeped in history?
It was a previous feat that you get. Basically, whenever you try and recall knowledge about the Magambia, the tenets or history of your branch, or members of your branch, you now get a +2 circumstance bonus to any of those rolls.
Oh, cool.
That's what steep. You previously had a +1. This is the second level of this particular bonus in this track.
So now it is a +2.
Yes.
And
During your time in the library, at one point, an older lady with golden spectacles and golden hairpin comes up and says, "Oh, hello, dearie. Is there anything you need help with?"
No, I'm having a phenomenal time.
Well, I wanted to ask. It's around midday, and myself and a few of the other ladies are going to be taking tea in the back room. You're the only one in the library at the moment, so if you wanted to join us, we'd be delighted to have you and to hear some stories from outside the city. Neither of us have been outside the walls in many years. Knees aren't so good.
My knees are really small, so I understand. I would love to take tea in the back room with you. That sounds delightful. Do you have a spare thimble? I find most teacups are a little bit too big for me.
Oh, don't worry. We have quite the collection of various cups. We once held tea with a small talking what were they called? Very small dinosaur, 2 legs. Kind of resembles a raptor, but very small, usually travel in many packs, but this one was born with some sort of magical talent that made it smarter, and so it was ostracized from
What
its
do
people.
I need to roll to identify this dinosaur?
It would be nature. It's a little harder than you would maybe think, because dinosaur. You know what,
It's a
30? That'll be
30.
all right. You believe this is a... Oh, hold on. It's,
Sorry.
for short, it's called a compy, but...
a Compiosaurus.
Hold on a sec.
For a second, you were describing the Heterodontosaurus, which is my favorite dinosaur, and I was almost very excited.
Oh boy.
Heterodontosaurus? Is that what it's called?
It's a Heterodontosaurus, which is why it's so funny because
The full name is
Yeah.
Compsognathus.
I'm a heterodont.
Compsognathus. Compsognathus.
Was it a Compsognathus?
Oh yes, yes. It was a darling little creature.
So cute.
It hasn't been here for many, many years, but it was a fascinating visitor to the city.
Well, I should be so honored to share a teacup with someone so esteemed. Yes, I would love to join you for tea.
Oh, delightful. And you essentially join like a little old lady librarian book club for lunch. They apparently once were just members of a book club who were here so often they eventually just became members of staff when other staff members left, and they came by for a club and never left permanently, so they just run the library. It's sort of an ad hoc organization.
I
This-
love that.
It's not this is like not the grand library of the city after all that has like an entire order of scholars that look after it. This is one of the lesser, though it's not pejorative, not
Avi's going to the indie library. She's
yes. This is the
Oh, it's
community
not that
library.
mainstream.
This is the community library. You're not going into like the most ancient texts of the thing. You are reading the stuff about the people. This is like a lot of the living history of the city is here. Like there's like farmers' almanacs. There is family histories. There are craftsmanship manuals and stuff. You find some books about gold metallurgy that I'm sure Igor will be very interested in.
I take some gold metallurgy notes
Thank you.
just for Igra.
Thank
money,
you.
money, money, money.
I should ask just because I am trying to do.
And that's another 2 treasure bundles, E.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. This is benign faffing about here. That's just sort of like world building. Is there anything specific you are looking for in the library while you're doing these kind of study sessions?
Honestly, I really do think Avi is just going above and beyond on like every little aspect of the city that she's so interested in. I think maybe there's a focus on the actual spell work involved in keeping it hidden. For example, like you couldn't see it from the sky. That's a cool trick.
Oh,
How'd they
Eldor,
do
thanks
that?
for the raid.
I'd like to know, but I'm sure that that's sort of
Yay!
hidden.
Thank you
Yes,
for
that
the
is-
raid. Thank you for the raid.
That
Hi,
is
Reed.
proprietary information, essentially proprietary spell work.
Charlotte's gone missing. Am I crazy?
Oh yeah, Sarah's not on the overlay.
What the heck happened?
What happened?
Here. Hi.
You went into
Hello?
stealth mode.
I don't know what Streamlabs did. Sorry, chat. Also, thanks for the raid, Elderworm.
But I also think that she has made it pretty well known that her interest in that is purely self-serving,
We can
and
see
that
you,
her
Sarah.
own coven generally keeps themselves pretty isolated, and that this is information that she would like to bring back to them to basically have the same technology.
Okay.
That it is a protective measure and not one that she's like, oh, I want to learn about this so I can circumvent those spells. Like, it's to learn about them to replicate them, not to usurp them.
Sure.
If that changes anyone's opinion on her, and anyone who speaks to her knows that she's speaking about this earnestly. But the other thing that it came to my mind over the last week that may elicit a groan from some people is that, Matt, you mentioned that the Magambia's people who were tailing Kiara the last time they saw her, she was going into, was it not the Screaming Jungle? Am I misremembering that?
Unfortunately, kind of yes.
They mentioned a jungle. I wasn't sure
Yes.
what jungle it was.
Not the Screaming Jungle, no.
Never mind. I was going to ask you, like, has anyone seen anyone who looks like this? But if that's a crazy thing to ask, then I will probably not.
You get the impression just from how much attention is being paid to you as a visitor to the city. They really don't have a lot of information about people from outside the city. And if there was someone else here currently from outside the city, someone would have mentioned it to you in the last couple months, unless they've literally been golden disappeared.
Yeah, I think the only like possibility in my mind, I was like, maybe she came and went.
When they had a battle of the mind wiping.
Yeah. But nope, that's probably like her main focus. That and just getting to know the people there, because all of the information, that's good and well, but the people, that's sort of a once in a lifetime opportunity to actually know them.
Okay. We're gonna move on then to Ophelia.
All right, let's roll some lore.
Get
You got
ready
this.
to lore.
Nat 20, nat 20, right here.
Wow, 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 wow.
Nice.
I mean, that's still a critical success. So,
Wow.
first, before we anything else, 2 treasure points, Will.
We're up to
Hooray.
18.
And
That's potentially a lot of moolah once you leave the city.
I really hope that I don't roll a 2 or a 4.
Are you rolling for the deception?
Oh, come on!
So close.
Also, I'm just gonna say again, Matt, you're supposed to be rolling those deception rolls in secret. We're not supposed to know whether or not we succeeded. I guess it doesn't matter now because
No.
we've not
Well,
succeeded
no.
so many times.
I'm
but-
also there's so many little things that are like unintended consequences down the road. I'm getting a little.
Well, let's see.
You failed every single one of them, which means that there's going to be problems.
I'm
Yay.
not going to lie. I have like a solid 45% belief that once we leave the city, we will never deal with anything from it again.
It's not a liquid belief.
I'm not going to confirm or deny. Anyway,
Solid.
so you go up 2 levels as well. So what level did you start at, Ophelia?
Oh. I have that up at the top of my notes. Let's see. I was at level 9.
All right, so you go to 10 and 11. So you get skill increase. Something to do with your branch can be increased to master if you have it already at expert, or something lesser to something a little higher, like trained to expert, not trained to trained. And you get steeped in history +2, which is the same as the other things, like any recall knowledge about your branch, the history of the Magambia, people in your branch. You now get a Circumstance bonus of +2.
Cool.
All right. And what is your particular research? I'm sorry, I should have really asked this for Sarah and Will as well. We did a little bit with Will, but what is your particular research? Sort of what form does it take, Ophelia?
Well, Uz and Jody are all about storytelling, and Ophelia is quite the storyteller and gatherer of tales and little ditties. So the first thing that actually she asked when she came into the city was to ask, I have his name somewhere, Damari G, the tree man, if he had any good
Mhm.
stories. So yeah, she would definitely have gone over while he was maybe fixing the stained glass with Charlotte and asked about if he had any really good tales.
Um, do you specifically seek him out as he is fixing the stained glass?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna say he has a lot of good stories. He also has a lot of kind of meandering stories where he tells you about the time he had nothing to do for a day and he followed a single ankylosaur throughout the entire city while it did basically nothing, but he was very curious of what it was doing. Um, he also tells you the legend of the reign of the god bird, where it once took over the entire northern forest around the city and had to be driven away with magic. Um,
God bird.
God,
it just had such amazing charisma. Um, though I'm also going to say, Ophelia, while you are one of the days you were hanging around helping repair the stained glass, you perhaps get just a little bit too close to the Nemesis well. Or there's just like a certain surge of the influence. So I'm going to need one DC will save,
Okay.
You
or
really
one
want to
will
get
save.
that debuff, don't you, Matt?
Here
Is
we
that
go.
Oh.
I rolled a 27. Oh, wait.
Uh,
I shouldn't have a temporary minus, but I have a temporary minus again.
Where is
to
it
be
saying
fair,
you do?
unless you got a critical failure, the temporary minus would have gone away. It's only for a month, and
It
you
says
guys
it
spent
says
a
on the
month.
roll that you have a plus 21. Is that correct?
Yeah, but then it also says that I have temporary -1.
Oh, is
Where
this the
does it?
frightened thing again?
Yeah, the
I
thing that keeps.
deleted that.
Not
We
the
might
roll
just.
does. Like the
Yeah.
math in the actual roll doesn't have any
No, I know
minuses.
it's stuck on Ophelia's sheet.
Hmm.
For
That's
some reason.
really interesting because
I
when I look
marked
over
it.
here on the actual, like, if you hover from our end, it doesn't have any reference
Yeah.
to that minus.
Yeah, there's no reference to the minus. And here's the other thing that we'll check now. I'll actually input a -1. And let's see if that did it. No, it did not show the -1, so yeah, it's probably including it.
Oh.
I'm going to have to do
28.
this every time we play Roll20.
Roll 20.
Roll20, get your system together, please.
We need you for this, but can you please fix these things?
Well, it's still low. I'm sure it's still a failure.
It is still a failure, but as a reminder, it's just going to be a -1 to diplomacy checks for this month. But seeing
Great.
as you guys are spending this entire month just doing research, probably not going to be irrelevant. Dun, 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 dun.
No, it didn't.
Now I know I'm a scaredy cat, but Ophelia actually is not a scaredy cat.
For anybody who is curious as to why the gremlin slash criminal has not been seen today, he is
In jail?
no, he is
Prime baby jail?
sleeping like a good little boy over here in the cat scratching post.
Oh.
Can I get a treat?
I know he's not being he's not being a criminal tonight.
Okay.
I fixed it.
Oh,
So
Maybe he is finally maturing at his big age.
Okay.
baby.
So
no,
I
but he
think I
is
fixed
hugging
it.
his own foot, so it's cute.
Oh.
Oh,
Fun fact, for people using Roll20, if your sheet's doing that, if you put a negative value onto the condition and press enter, it will delete the condition. So if you go -1 and then enter.
All right.
Program.
Ophelia, I will also say you get a strange flash of sort of like, it doesn't look like a kind of scrying vision. You're not seeing a realistic depiction of a far-off scene. You almost see like an artistic interpretation of Osaibu, and then a like wave, but it's not made of water, it's made of fire, crashes against the wall of the city, and it starts to melt a little bit, and then the vision is gone.
That's concerning. That's concerning. You don't care.
But as the tree man points out, people get kind of nightmarish visions around the well all the time, and a lot of them don't mean anything. One man was chased by a vision of a goat with 3 heads.
But do they ever actually come true?
I mean, people have said that their interpretations of them have come through true. Like, people interpret them metaphorically, but that also leaves it open kind of to taking a vision, like slapping on something that actually was not being predicted, but like, oh, this interpretation matches this thing that happened. It's like confirmation bias.
It's like Bruno from Encanto.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Are there any?
7
Is there
foot
anybody in the
rabbits.
city that's really good at like interpreting these dreams? Or
The tree man thinks for a moment and then kind of chuckles. Well, funny you should mention. I've heard from some citizens there's a visitor to the city, a small, pleasant little creature that is good with interpretations of visions. They're a bit flighty, though.
a small creature like a bat?
Oh, you're a clever one, I see. Old tree man thinks he's clever.
You mean my companion?
Yes, that.
Oh, great.
Imagine when he laughs, his leaves shake a little bit. Like
A squirrel falls out.
Is it gold? Is it
No.
a golden squirrel?
It is a red squirrel,
Dang.
which is
What
actually
about
fairly
black
unusual for a jungle, honestly. I don't think there are squirrels in jungles.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty. That's wow. That's like finding gold in the jungle. To be very fair with you.
it's a marsupial variant, I believe.
Squirrel gold. Um. Yeah, that's my. That's my stuff.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. So that reaches, I believe, the end of the 3rd month of research. So you guys have become pretty comfortable in the city. People, especially in the neighborhood around where your lodgings have been, they say hi to you in the mornings now. You maybe know, depending on how friendly you are, you maybe know some of their first names and everything. The paths to your respected kind of research areas of the cities are well worn at this point. People have stopped staring in the streets sometimes. Except it maybe Igra and Avi Avi. Just a little bit, but not in an unfriendly, not like I'm outsiders.
I'm just a
You're
frog.
you're a frogman, Will. There aren't any other Gripplies in the city. You are a novelty, to put it politely. And things have reached a sort of comfortable rhythm. You wake up, you have a nice time, you maybe go to that little cafe across the street.
But that
you-
all changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Funny you should mention that.
Wait, I was gonna wait till my next turn to ask about Affinity.
Silence. Come on.
Sorry, Ophelia, what was that?
I was gonna wait till my next turn to ask Avi about the fire
Well, you know what?
tsunami.
Let's roll things just like a night. And you guys are settling in for a night.
Whip, whip,
Maybe
whip, whip,
Igra's
whip.
already snoring. I don't know. Um,
Sleepover.
you live in an assigned house. It's every night's a sleepover. I don't know. You guys might sleep in a common room. I don't know what your arrangements are. I don't know your minds. Describe your home situation, guys.
Higura has a closet that he just sleeps in.
We like to cuddle pile.
Higura's taken a closet. It's just in the closet at night.
Every night is a sleepover because Avi sleeps on the ceiling over everyone else.
There have been no more appearances with the question answering apparition of a certain character's head.
Oh, I love that.
Right, okay.
Double
Did you-
barreled crossbow at the
Did
ready.
you tell people about that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Avi came up the next morning and was like, "So
Well,
did
no.
y'all hear? Did y'all see?"
Well, no, it answered everyone's questions, so y'all saw it.
Yeah, right.
It was sort of a group three
Group
ghosts.
hallucination?
Group
I mean, you're
psycho.
all drinking the same water.
What are they putting in those pastries?
Gold
The
dust.
water.
You all get heavy metal poisoning.
Oops.
Actually, I don't
Covered
know
in
if gold is...
microplastics.
Oh god. But yeah, you're settling down for the night. I don't know if you guys have warm milk before bed or something. You have ample opportunity to talk to Avi Avi.
I got to have tea with the sweetest little group of old ladies today. You would have loved them, Ophelia. They're excellent storytellers.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, because I was hanging out with Tomorrow G and
He's fun.
he told me some very fun stories about the Godbird. You remember the Godbird?
I do remember the Godbird.
Yes, 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 yes. And it was a good thing that he told me such a wonderful, lovely story because then I had a terrible vision right after that.
Oh, that's unfortunate. What did you see?
Um, a fire just engulfing these.
You cut out there for a second.
A fire tsunami, just engulfing the town.
Oh,
Yeah, like normal
well,
things.
Just
uh,
fire things.
It's not panic-inducing or anything.
it's interesting that you say that. I would not consider that a normal thing, personally.
How would you interpret
Just in
that?
the middle of the day, it wasn't even like a dream or anything.
It was Nemesis as well.
Oh, yeah. Hmm. That could be a problem. I suppose we don't really know how accurate the visions that people who are exposed to the Nemesis will have, but
Who wants to
That's
go
sort of
willingly dunk their
simple.
head in it?
You hate Igora so much.
I love
more than
Igora.
anyone else.
I just like to do fun things.
Babe.
Both McKenna and I tilt heads.
Oof.
It's probably for the best that Matt and I don't sit next to each other because we would do this
Bonk.
and bonk.
I would laugh.
It would only happen once and we'd learn.
Bunk, bunk.
Would we?
Mm.
Can I make some sort of arcana, occultism,
I would say,
interpretation roll?
well, here's the thing. Are you trying to analyze what you know about what might be influencing the visions themselves, more like a technical kind of analysis, or are you actually trying to interpret the dreams?
As a rune witch, I think I'm gonna go for like what kind of symbolism, like interpret the
Okay.
vision.
That, I think, would be more of an occultism. Arcana is more kind of academic.
32.
Well, you think that the specific choices in the vision in terms of what this occurrence is are possibly significant. One, fire. Two, it being kind of a wave, like just a flood. So you think that means that it's a large-scale, possibly widespread threat or concern, and fire, something tied to something that has to do with heat or fire or just burning. It's fire is a pretty kind of ambiguous symbol outside of like, oh, elementals are attacking the city or something, but you think, just as a person who has studied a lot of interpretations, that's a little on the nose.
Yeah.
Like if it was actually like literally just elemental fires coming to attack the city, the vision would be more vague about it.
Well, if it's any consolation, I don't think it's meant to be interpreted literally, but also even the not so literal interpretations are kind of bad. So
Great. So now three-headed goat. I can't just. Right? That's not what
Well,
that means.
did you also have a vision about a
I'm sorry.
three-headed
No,
goat?
you had to be there. Demaria G was talking about somebody else having a vision of a three-headed goat, which I guess
Ma, ma,
is much
ma.
better than this.
Oh, yeah, that probably would have been better than this.
I don't know. A three-headed goat, nothing bleats that.
Look, I raised goats. I can tell you one thing, that if you are doing an interpretation or a sheep or a goat, you have to stick your tongue out while you do it. That is the most accurate.
First show of the new year.
What is happening here?
just
Benign faffing about.
a little knowledge for you.
Well,
Well, we should probably. Well, Demaria G already knows.
if Margie already knows, then I think you've done all that you can do. That is the frustrating thing about having this information that you don't necessarily know how to interpret, is that even in the best case scenario where you interpret it perfectly and you know exactly what it means, doesn't necessarily help you avoid it. So, I guess maybe we just wear some sunscreen, batten down the hatches, and hope for
Roll
the
to
best.
invent sunscreen, Charlotte.
Charlotte, could
got
you
this.
make a screen that blocks out the sun that we could wear?
I mean, I could make a certain cream for you that would help give you a level of protection. Sure.
I like that you guys are sitting on the edges of your bed having this conversation, or Avi's hanging from the ceiling. Charlotte's like lying in bed, staring up at the ceiling, like, yeah, I can make you something.
But that's
Yeah,
not as
alright.
fashionable as a screen, right? Like a lotion?
Well, you could call it a sun cream, and it could technically be the same thing.
Oh, I see.
Sun cream, or maybe we should call it anti-sun cream because we wouldn't want people to think that it was a cream that invoked
Gave
power.
you the
You know
sun.
what I mean? Right.
Sunny D.
That's very powerful.
Igoro, give me a perception check.
So just let me sit in my closet in peace.
No.
Natural 20.
No,
Okay.
you hear and see everything.
No. Igora, you've been sleeping in this closet off and on, depending on how your mood strikes you. Tonight, you're kind of just having so much trouble getting comfortable, and you're stretching a little bit. And your arm accidentally hits a very specific part of the wall, at a very specific angle with a very specific amount of force, and you feel the tiniest bit of the wall give, and there's a click, and a small section of the wall slides down, and you find a small cubby hole with a leather-bound journal inside it.
Fucking Pathfinders, open up the journal.
You find written in it, and it's just in common,
Oh.
something about the Silver Heresy.
Reading. Avi! Opens closet door. I found a book hidden in the wall.
Hidden books.
Oh, she's devouring that immediately.
Igor just holds it up ready. Yeah.
You basically have found the journal of someone who refuses to identify themselves, mostly because it's their own journal, who seems to have engaged in what they apparently are saying in the journal was called the Silver Heresy. They were a rebel or a free thinker in the city who wanted to try experimenting making houses or weapons or ornaments with silver rather than gold. Also, the silver is sort of also a metaphor for outside trade and exchange of ideas because silver is actually not mined anywhere near the city, so it's also sort of kind of a metaphor for bringing in new ideas and stuff. And this was met with a lot of opposition. And while there wasn't like violence, it wasn't like heresy. They just sort of seem to have, it seems to have been called that. It's a riveting kind of tale just of this person who seems to have a bit of a high opinion of themselves and their free thinking ways, and how they faced opposition to all their ideas and stuff, and they refused to give in to peer pressure and everything. It's all very interesting, a little self-aggrandizing, and it just sort of trails off near the end without any sort of satisfying ending.
As Avi's reading it, Igor just says, and that's how you get a city overrun with bears.
Bears? How do you figure?
Don't worry about it.
I know what he's referencing.
Are you making a reference to something outside this universe that we as characters exist in?
Yes.
Fuck you.
Tiny little bat hand.
Alright, fan artist, I need that.
I would like to point out that it is, and she kind of just like looks up and looks over into the like.
There's
the
a
area.
gold water clock across the room that shows it is like 12:30 at night.
It is late, and some of us would like some sleep.
Oh,
Who's some of us?
I will not apologize for my nocturnal ways. I am biologically hardwired to be awake right now. But I will apologize for keeping you up. I'll whisper. Okay, this guy's crazy.
Avi.
Just like Charlotte, just like with hands like this, reaches one extra arm over and flips the blanket over.
I mean, Charlotte has a lot of
Avi.
eyes to rest.
on a scale of 1
Your
to
whispering
10,
is awful.
1 being completely benign, 10 being my perfectly justified in my eyes hatred for Mercedes, where does this person sit?
I don't understand your scale.
On the scale of like this person's lost it.
I don't know if he's lost it. I think he just I think he has a lot of opinions, and for all of his talk about wanting outside influence, he is not particularly open to that same influence that he claims to be upholding, and isn't necessarily listening to anyone else. I think there is some merit to having outside ideas, but I also think that's why Osaibu allows people in the first place. If they were truly that isolationist, we'd be dead. Or we would have never found this place in the first place. So, there is that to think about.
There is
That's
also one page that's entirely devoted to conspiracy theories about the tree guy and what secrets he's holding from everyone.
Ooh, can I read that one? That one looks like fun.
How he's
I
rooted
will
in
read it
place.
aloud.
His roots run deep.
The guy believes that the tree is actually in cahoots with the Nemesis Well and uses it to steal people's dreams, which he uses to grow acorns full of secrets.
You know, I can appreciate
Acorns
the
are
artist.
full of secrets.
I
That's
can
why there's so
appreciate
many
the
of them.
artistry
That's
of
where the
that.
squirrels are coming from.
I can appreciate the imagination
Yeah,
involved in such a thing. But this guy's sort of
That shit.
nuts.
Well, sorry.
Who wants to roll me a nature check
Excuse
real
you?
quick?
Sorry.
Excuse you? What the fuck did you just say?
Oh, wow.
Avi,
I'm just kidding. It's a very normal turn of phrase even for us.
No, you're gonna throw down, huh?
Avi would win.
Just go absolutely feral.
Careful, Aviama might be able to cast enough spells that do damage to make you croak. I give myself a hero point. No.
Unfortunately, in a one-on-one fight with full resources now at this level, Avi wins that fight just based off of like resources alone.
Dragon.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did the math.
When and why?
For the break for fun, I ran some simulations. Igoro would get killed by pretty much everyone in this party. Charlotte's a little bit more even, but yeah.
Okay.
And yet, I recall a comment made at the end of the Mercedes fight. It was like, okay, I could take her at level 20.
He did say that. You did say that.
I did say
Roll
that.
the roll the tape. Roll the clip.
Then I actually read
Roll the
then I
bean,
actually
roll the
read the
bean
remaster
first.
stuff, and yeah, y'all got buffed.
If it makes you feel any better, I've only sort of looked at the rework.
Don't blame you.
After all of that to do I made about it, I haven't really dug that deep into it.
Well, someone has some homework.
Maybe after stream.
No homework.
But yeah, no. Avi makes a comment that I don't know if this has come up yet. She says, and my coven, we do sort of send people out into the world with the intention of having them come home and share what they've learned. And that is something that I think Osaibu could benefit from greatly, although they run the risk of being followed, but also I'm biased because that's what I am sort of out here doing for my coven, is just learning and absorbing.
Also, everyone roll me a nature check real quick.
Is this nature versus nurture?
I'm gonna roll it because Charlotte has yet to actually be able to fall asleep with all the shenanigans going on.
Yes. I mean, the
27.
ruckus being raised about batshit alone. Anyone who rolled over like a 20 knows for a fact that the giant tree man is absolutely not the kind of tree that even grows acorns.
So all of us.
Oh, that's disappointing.
But what will the squirrels eat? They're gonna starve.
I said acorns. They may eat berries, or they may just live in the tree man. Especially since he's mobile, so they get to move around a
No,
lot.
because Ophelia, you said it yourself. They're squirrel gold.
I feel
so they
weird.
eat gold.
I feel weird
Obviously.
about squirrels eating the tree person, like things that grow off of a tree person. That seems weird to me.
I mean, what else are they gonna eat?
Like, not things that grow off of a sentient creature. Like, I wouldn't eat. Like, I wouldn't eat like any fungus that grows off of Endurs. Also, hi.
Endurs has been here the whole time.
That's terrible.
I feel like if anybody's clever enough, you hear Endura's just sitting there, and you just
He
Charlotte
usually
jumps a little bit, like, oh.
It should be noted, Endures always tries to rest in a different room than you guys because he's had people in the past tell him the fact that he just stands perfectly still while he's resting kind of creepy.
Oh.
He doesn't lie down to sleep. He just stops moving.
Well, anyway, I think the ladies at the library are gonna love this. They're gonna eat this up. Where did you find it?
Well, I was stretching in my closet, and I kind of overstretched a bit. You know, sometimes like you want to get right on the edge of getting a Charlie horse, because it's a really good stretch, and then it just I got right there, and my arm went a little bit to the right. I hit the wall fell down. And when the wall fell down, inside the wall there was the journal there, and I saw, oh, secret book. Now I could open this and read the words myself, or I could just go give it to Avi Avi, because let's be honest, if I give this to Avi Avi, she's going to be literally bouncing off the walls, or roof in this case. Yeah. Listen, we may not see eye to eye on many things, but I know what makes you, like, I know things you enjoy, and like I will not actively go out of my way to prevent you from getting those.
I
A
appreciate
But-
wall and a wall and a house and a house and a place and a hiss and a town
Lost
and a
me
town and a forest
at-
and a forest down in the valley. Oh. Sorry.
I do think that maybe you would have fewer Charlie horses if you slept in a bed. I know I keep saying this.
Well, no, I really like
Why
that.
do you
I
want
really
them?
like the
Why do
feeling
you
the
want
moment
them?
before you get a Charlie horse, like this, like the moment, like right before, like the second before you get it. It has like a really good stretch, and if you stop there and don't go any further, you don't get the Charlie horse. It's fine. This is actually something I do in the mornings.
No, but the
I could
fear-
tell.
The fear
I could
of getting
tell.
a Charlie horse is too much.
I am getting residual Charlie horse in my calves right
So
now.
you all have
I
a
don't
wonderful
like
night's
talking about it.
sleep.
We talk about anything
Yeah.
else.
You eventually all just kind of like trail off with this conversation and fall asleep. The next morning, you are awoken by a sound you have not heard before. You hear golden bells. You assume they're golden bells because, what other metal would they be made in this city, honestly? I think gold would not sound good, but anyway, and you start to hear raised voices in the street and the sound of people starting to kind of pick up the pace in the street.
Well, it looks like Ophelia's visions come to pass. All
Can I
right,
hear
team,
them?
let's get combat ready.
What are they screaming?
No one is screaming. It doesn't seem to be like a panic, but there is concern that you see like you pop your head out the window and there are like parents holding the hands of their children, moving swiftly in kind of like a calm, orderly fashion, but they look worried, and they are moving to their houses, and you see more than usual amount of guards kind of moving quickly through the streets.
Right. I'd like to look and see the direction they're coming from.
Yeah,
with
what's
my
going
head
on?
poking out the window.
Eager's
The-
just going out into the crowd and getting ready for a fight.
Everyone, quickly give me a perception check. Ophelia, you need to clean some stuff out of your eyes.
34.
34, 34, 36. It seems like the vast majority of the guards, not all of them, but the vast majority, seem to be heading to the north and the south primarily. It seems like no one's heading north or south or west or east. And you hear some guards in the something the tangle something. Let's see, Avi, because you rolled so high, you hear one particular conversation of some guards that sort of run by your house. How did they get so close?
Oh. Well, let's follow the guards. Something has gotten close to the city that maybe shouldn't have.
I agree.
Eager summons Gama.
All right, do you guys want to go north or south?
Do you wanna
Whichever
split
direction the guards are going in.
They're going in both directions. Big glowing dialogue boxes appear in the air above you. Pick north or south.
Can we ask a guard where we would be most needed?
The guards seem a little busy. You're gonna have to make just an off-the-cuff choice here with
It's a
very
choice.
limited
We have to make a
information.
choice.
What do we know about the north or the south? Since
know-
we've been here for like a couple months.
The north and the south are the parts of the city that have the largest amount of the trees close to the city. There is more of a kind of an open area to the east, and to the west there's just kind of more sparse trees. The northeast is where the main river flows into the city. I think you guys can see the map right now, right?
You mentioned the
Yeah.
tangle.
Yeah, the tangle is what's referred to as any part of the big dense forest that comes close to the city. There's tangle in the sort of the southeast and in the north.
My vote's for north, personally.
Should we go
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
or away from
Also-
the river?
I was also thinking north.
All right,
North it is.
north selected. Loading screen. You guys reach
It's nice knowing you, Caden.
the base of the walls on the north of the city, and you catch in the crowd Damari DG. Just making sure.
What's up, tree? What's up?
Well, he looks very concerned. I think you would be best if you took a look yourselves. And he kind of reaches down with his big hands and offers to lift you guys up onto the wall.
All right.
Okay.
He lifts
Take it.
He lifts you guys up into onto the parapet, and you look out, and you can now see in sort of the trees and everything, thousands of armed figures slowly making their way towards the city. And I need everyone to give me a perception check.
Thousands? We can kill him.
One for Agate. Agate got a 31.
Gama got a 21.
This
This
is-
had something to do with the fact that we failed every single one of those things.
No, No, because we haven't gone out to publish any research yet. So this is markedly not our fault at this point.
Yeah. Spoiler warning, this is not your fault in any way. There's a surprisingly convoluted way that this occurs, and there's almost no way you guys will ever know about it, and I might tell you off stream. So you guys see out there, you see that there are many armored figures. There appear to be some people in robes that you suspect are like casters of some kind. Some of them seem to be like haloed with kind of like golden energy, though not the same kind of gold stuff you've seen around the city. But more importantly, you recognize the style and kind of outfits that a lot of them are wearing.
Oh no.
This is the army of Mazzali. And as you realize this, a guy with the freaking banner of Volcana kind of takes center stage in all of them, and troops begin to rush the walls.
Hey, this is a good thing. They like us. We can solve this peacefully.
The siege of Osaibu has begun.
Oh,
Look at Avi Avi.
So.
Ah. Well.
Well.
And we are going to continue this because we are going to begin the defense of the city next week.
Oh no.
This is going to be quite thrilling.
Oh no.
And don't worry, you guys aren't going to be doing a Helm's Deep. You're not going to be fighting on the walls.
We didn't do it.
You didn't.
It was
do it.
not us.
I did not do it. I did not.
I did not do it, Ma. I did not have.
No survivors?
Even to your well-deserved feelings of confidence, Igra, there are enough guys here that they could just bury you under bodies.
No, I'm more saying along the lines of like, hey, if this place wants to keep its location secret, no survivors?
We kill all of them, including Wakana.
I mean, well, I've kind of been having it coming.
I mean, would it be
Yeah,
a
kill the god.
Would it be a
good luck with that.
TTRPG if we didn't kill a god?
I mean, if we keep him occupied enough and long enough, we can get him in his kid form and kill him as a child.
Yeah, where's the other god that we saved? She might help us.
That's
On that
true.
note, as they discuss the viability of killing gods, which is a very RPG thing to do, we're going to call things for tonight. Please tune in next week as we start the defense of the city of Osaibu during the siege. It will be very interesting. But until next time.
Thank you all so much for coming. And if you want to see some god killing in action, check out Wednesday night for Wild Ambition.
We're level 4.
We're babies.
So thank
I'm
you all so
going
much
to
for coming.
shoot God. See you Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.